don't know who exactly wrote it, but she might have been part of the writing of the music. You'll recognize the lyrics. Where there is hatred, let me bring love. Where there is doubt, let me bring faith. Where there is falsehood, let me bring truth. Where there is pain, I'll comfort you. Where there is silence, let me sing praise. Where there's despair, let me bring hope. Where there is blindness, let me bring sight. Where there is darkness, let me bring light. And with these words I speak, grant that I may not seek to be heard, but to hear, not to hear, to be consoled, but to console, not to be seen, but to see, to be loved, but to love. For when we give love, we will receive. When we forgive love, we'll find reprieve. It isn't dying, we'll be released. Make me an instrument of peace, of love, of joy, of hope, of love. Make me an instrument of peace, of peace. Oh, thanks so much. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you. As God's grace and love make this bright world. May the light of the Spirit shine on. You want to sing along? May the light of the Spirit shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you, as God's grace and love make this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on, shine on, shine on. I'm gonna keep shining on, shine on. So I think the first one is really, may the light of the Spirit shine on you. And then it's me, I think. Is that proper? May the light of the Spirit shine on you. Shine on you. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. As God's grace and love make this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on. May the light, it's actually me, of the Spirit shine on me. Shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you. As God's grace and love make this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on, shine on, shine on, shine on. Gonna let it shine on. Oh, let it shine on, shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine on me. May the light of the Spirit shine on you. Here's God's grace and love make this a brighter world. May the light of the Spirit shine on. All right, let's shine on one more time. Shine on, shine on, shine on. We're gonna let it shine on, shine on, shine on. May the light of the Spirit shine on. Yay.
That was awesome, Jim. Welcome, everybody. That was awesome, Cole. That was awesome, right? Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Wednesday night experience of revelation. No, the revealing experience. I am Sunny. This is Mello. We are the Days of our lives. We just welcome you into this space, into this wonderful space that's been prayed up and loved up for you. As we sing, we welcome, yeah? Come on in, we welcome, we welcome, we welcome you. Come on in, we welcome, we welcome, we welcome you. Let go, be free. Come on
and take a seat. We're glad you're here.
We're spreading love, joy, and cheer. So come on in, come on in,
Come on in.
come on in. We welcome you. She sees mommy. Come on in, come on in,
Come on in.
we welcome you. Let go, be free. Come on in and take a seat.
We're glad
You're here. What am I, chopped liver?
spreading love.
Joy and cheer. So come on
Come
in,
on in.
come on in,
Come on in.
come on in. We welcome you. Come on in,
Come on in.
come on in,
Come on in.
come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in.
Let go, be free. Come on in and take a seat. We're glad you're here. We're spreading love, joy, and cheer. So come on in,
Come on in.
come on in,
Come on in.
come on in.
We welcome
you. Come on in,
We will.
come on in,
Come on in.
come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in.
Come on in,
Come on in.
come on in,
Come on in.
come on in. We welcome you.
Come on in.
Come on in,
Come on in.
come on in,
Come on in.
come on in. We welcome you. Come on in. Thank you, thank you, thank y'all. That's our song, you know. I love how these songs are our songs. And so we sing about the truth of who we are, the love, the peace, and the joy. Reveal, reveal the love inside of me. Reveal
The
the love that I was meant to be.
every time I
Open up, love is what I see. I hear you, Jan.
reveal
The love in me, the peace. Reveal, reveal the peace inside of me. Reveal the peace that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, peace is what I see. Reveal the peace in me. The joy. Reveal the joy inside of me. Reveal the joy that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, joy is what I see. Reveal the joy in me.
Reveal, reveal the love inside of me.
Reveal the love that I was meant to be. And every time I open up, love is what I see.
Every time I open up, peace is what I
This is what I
see.
see.
Every time I open up, joy is what I
That's
see.
Reveal the
Reveal
love,
the love
in me. Absolutely.
And with gratitude for the love which is so joyously and musically shared by our fine musicians, Cole and Jim and Sonny. They set the tone for the space, for the knowing that love is what we are. That this space is a space filled with love. This is a space filled with joy. This is a space filled with peace. Where this space is a holy space, a place of God, a place where each of us connect yet more intimately with the God within. And it is so very, very good. And knowing that truth, knowing that God is right here, right now, I have 2 readings this evening about heaven. And we often think, or I was raised, that heaven is out there somewhere. So these are readings from the Course in Miracles that speak to a different truth. There is nothing outside you. That is what you must ultimately learn, for it is the realization that the kingdom of heaven is restored to you. For God created only this, and he did not depart from it, nor leave it separate from himself. The kingdom of heaven is the dwelling place of the child of God, who left not his Father, and dwells not apart from God. Heaven is not a place, nor a condition. It is merely an awareness of perfect oneness, and the knowledge that there is nothing else, nothing outside this oneness, and nothing else within. The kingdom of heaven is within you. It is hard to understand what the kingdom of heaven is within you really means. This is because it is not understandable to the ego, which interprets it as if something outside is inside. This does not mean anything. The word within is unnecessary. The kingdom of heaven is you. What else but you did the Creator create? And what else but you is his kingdom? This is the whole message, which in its totality transcends the sum of its parts. And now we get to hear what Reverend Sunshine says about heaven and all sorts of other things. Look forward to it.
Thank you so much, Candace. I appreciate that. What a great reading and a great prayer. Hi, everybody. Wow. I'm feeling a little today. I don't know what that means yet. How are folks feeling today? Give me some Some of you feeling a little today? Yeah. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's because people keep trying to lie to me and tell me that I can't wear white after Labor Day because summer's over. And it's interesting for me to check out the world of effects and how many ways it continues to lie to us, and we go, okay, and we accept it, i.e., summer's over. Today is September the 10th, and according to the calendar, summer's not over until the 22nd, the 23rd, 21st, somewhere in there. But Labor Day has gone by. So, of course, summer's over. Not. And that is exactly what continues to happen for us. When we continue to believe lies, instead of recognizing what the truth is, instead of recognizing and really being steeped in the knowing of truth, we are simply allowing ourselves to be in a default status and have our lives run by society, by race consciousness, on default, versus, or instead of, conscious living, spiritual living, giving ourselves the opportunity to recognize and know the truth and being mindful about it, and then going in that direction and saying no to the world of effects, or saying no to status quo, or saying no to mediocrity, and saying yes to our excellence and our divinity. Interestingly enough, our reading today is quite vast. Out of today's reading, there was a particular spot that I truly enjoyed, that I really want to base some time on today. And that is, we're entering a part of the book where Ernest Holmes begins to look at Scripture, and particularly what is commonly known as the New Testament. So know this, that the Bible is a library. The Bible is a library. It is a collection of books. When I go to the library, I see a collection of books. The Bible is a collection of books that have been written and canonized, meaning they've been put in a particular order. Some stories have been omitted. Some stories have been added. It's a library. What stories are we going to put in here? And what makes sense, or what doesn't even make sense, but we're going to stick it in here anyway. And so Ernest Holmes, what he does in the Science of Mind book is he takes Scripture, particularly from what's called the New Testament, and he adds his deal to it. He adds his interpretation of it. He talks about it in such a way that we can take the language of Scripture and make it practical for today. Now, mind you, even the Science of Mind book was written 1929, I believe, 29, 27, somewhere around there. 26, look at that. Jenny, our A1 practitioner. She came back in the room to tell me that. Okay, I love it. Thank you, Jenny. 1926. So if we think about how old this is, there's still so much value, and there's still not what to think, but how to think. So in this particular passage, it's called the Altar of Faith, and it's taken from the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 23. But he says, again, Jesus tells us that our gifts brought to the altar of life are unacceptable while there is aught between us and our fellow man. So we might think, well, hey, I'm bringing my gifts, I'm bringing my talents, I'm going to use my gifts and talents for the good of life, for the good of God. I'm bringing all that I am to the altar of faith. I'm bringing it here, but yet Jesus the Christ, meaning the enlightened one, is saying, don't even show up. Don't even show up with all your good, with all your talent, with all your gifts, with everything that you have. Don't even show up to the altar of faith if you have a problem with your brother, if you have a problem with your sister, if you have a problem with your neighbor or your friend or your beloved, or if you have some strife, some animosity, some hatred, some dislike, some disdain for anyone. Don't even show up. It's unacceptable. In 12-step program, it's known as half measures availed us nothing. In life, usually, if I go to the deli and I want to buy some Genoa salami, which I don't buy Genoa salami, but just saying, if I want to buy some Genoa salami and it's $3 a pound, I can get a half a pound for $1.50. Half. I just want half. But in this idea that half measures get us nothing, meaning even if you come with $1.50, sorry, you can't get any of it. You got to bring all of it, or you get none of it. What Jesus the Christ is talking about in this particular passage is simply our consciousness and our attitude and our way of being, our way of life, and what we're really about. How is it that I can come and be on this exalted place and spew all my gifts, my talents, as if I am perfect, and yet I have a problem with my neighbor? Or on the way here, if I'm cursing out the guy in front of me who's driving slow in the carpool lane. What he is saying and what he is urging us to do is to, as the young people say, come correct. Come correct. Like, get that right first. Because how can we possibly come to share what we have if, in fact, there's animosity between us? I must fix, I must work on, I must come from a place of harmony and peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace for my neighbor, peace for folks around me. I must come from that place and work in that specific area so that I may indeed then give of those gifts. And then those gifts, that which I bring from that place, is even from a more exalted place, from a place of, I've done my work. This is not fake or phony or fraud. I've done my work, and here's the gifts that I have to share. Here's what I have. That we become consciously aware of the areas in our lives where we're kind of doing a half measures, if you will. It goes on to say, here it is hard saying, we cannot always please our fellow man. Human experience has taught us that this is impossible. What attitude then must we assume? This, whether we please or whether we displease, we need to have no personal animosity toward others. You know that ex? Oops. I know. I have a friend who calls her ex my husband. There's no animosity there, huh? No animosity toward another. How do I fix that? What's the impetus? What is my motivation, like the actor says? What's my motivation here? What's my motivation here? How is it I am to act or to be with this particular person? Whether we please or displease, we have no personal animosity toward another. The altar of faith is approached through peace and goodwill towards all. The divine ear is attuned to harmony and cannot be approached through discord. So we take a look at that. We take a look at all the places then where we may be fooling ourselves. I love it. A friend of mine, her name is Esther Nicholson. She's been here before. She's a great singer. She's been traveling with her book lately, and she speaks specifically to looking at a place where a person does not have safe passage through our mind. How many of those do we have? You know, how many of those people can we, count on one hand rather, two hands, maybe two hands on a foot, maybe both feet and two hands, and maybe some tick marks, in the sand? But really, when we begin to think about it, when we begin to recognize that we're on this spiritual path, on this journey to know God as our very own life, if that is truly what I'm about, if that is truly the path that I'm on and the journey that I'm on, then clearly it is incumbent upon me to begin to really clean up those relationships, whether I'm pleased with you or displeased with you. Irrespective of that, I am to have no animosity. I am to be in a place of harmony, in a place of peace. I am to reconcile that in my own mind and body. I am to recognize that that person, that individual, that ex, that current, that boss, that person on the freeway is the magnificent and unique way that life is expressing on this planet. And the moment I have anything negative to say, the moment that I have any animosity or hatred or disdain or, oh, he just gets on my nerves toward that individual, really what's happening is I'm coming up short. I'm coming up short. And truly then, the gifts that I have to share are short because I'm coming up short because I'm having animosity or someone doesn't have safe passage through my mind. Does that make sense? Now, I'm not telling you to go out tonight and start making phone calls. Because I'm not saying on your marks, go, get set. It really is about on your mark, get set, go. It really is about G-O-D, good, orderly direction. It is indeed about following the dictates of our heart. It is about living in harmony and getting it correct in my own mind first before I actually go and maybe have some conversation. Because all the work is done here. The work is done within me before it is done on the outside of me. The architect thinks and dreams up the beautiful design for this next high-rise building or this house or eco-friendly living community. The architect, she thinks about that first. And it happens in her mind first before it gets down on paper, before it gets built. The ideas come from the invisible first, and then they're made manifest. And so it is with us that when we have these thoughts of whether, and hate is a strong word, but sometimes we have disdain or hatred or dislike or animosity, or we just don't get along, or that's just not my favorite person. Ugh. And any degree of that is really affecting how my gifts show up in life, how they're received, how they're given. Because I'm not coming from the fullness of who I am, because I'm still holding on to a resentment or an attitude, or I still have some animosity or disdain for another individual. And I cannot come bearing my gifts and all of my goodness and and spewing it when indeed there are folks who don't have safe passage through my own mind. And so as a spiritual community, when we begin to really be mindful and when we really commit to walking this path, Some people are like, oh, well, I'm going to take my commitment back right now because I'm not really getting rid of that animosity I have with so-and-so. No. We get to work with it. We get to make that part of our prayer work. We get to make that part of our meditation, part of our language. We get to really take a look and boldly go where we have not gone before. And that's within. To take a look at why I have this hatred, this animosity, this disdain, this dislike, this for somebody else. And inevitably, it is because I am so steeped in the belief in separation that I have failed to recognize the basic truth that we started learning here in January. When we first started reading our book, a little page, a little paragraph at a time. Inevitably, whenever someone does not have safe passage through my mind, it is because I believe that they are separate from me. I believe that they are other than God and the way life and love and beauty and joy is expressing on this planet. The only reason I have this animosity towards anyone is because I believe that they are not who I am or not who God is. And that's my work to do. They don't have to change. I don't have to be pleased with you or displeased with you. It doesn't matter. What matters is that if I choose this way of being and this way of life and spiritual living is indeed what I'm about, then it's my work. It's my stuff. And I don't get to just sit back and just kind of like, oh yeah, it'll blow over. No. I have to get it clear in my own mind. Whenever there's this struggle, whenever there's this discord, it's because I'm believing and accepting a lie. Just like the lie that summer's over. You know? Yeah. So here's what Ernest continues to say. He says, when we agree with our adversaries quickly, they disappear. Poof. Who? What adversary? What enemy? Poof. Be gone. We could become magicians that quickly. We can make people disappear. When we agree with our adversaries quickly, they will disappear, for there can be no reality to us unless we recognize it. So in other words, it's me who's creating it. I'm the one who's creating it. I'm the one who's saying there's something wrong. There's something different between us. And rah, rah, rah. The moment I just kind of recognize, look at God. That sure is a unique way God is showing up on the planet. Way different than how I would do it, but nevertheless. It's the way life is expressing. And I might have to start there. With the humor, with the kind of going, hey, but it's a great place to start. Because I'm recognizing that there's no separation. That each of us are the unique and beautiful, magnificent way that life is showing up on this planet. I create it. So whenever there's discord in my life, I can't blame it on you. If I recognize it and I name it discord, I'm the one naming it discord. I could just name it special. And take it from there. Different. It's another unique way to look at that situation. Jesus tells us to resist not evil, because what we know is that what we resist persists, because if I'm resisting it, I'm naming it and I'm saying that it's there. So he says, resist not evil. He says, love your enemy. We're to love our enemies and to do good to them who would do us evil. For this is to manifest the spirit of love, which is God. God loves us all alike and causes rain to fall and the sun to shine upon all. So my task here is to recognize that I am living in separation. That irrespective and regardless of what the situation and the circumstance is, that I am to come from a place of love. That I am to give all safe passage through my mind. That I am to love all. And that even if I believe, and even if for a moment I think that someone is causing me harm, that I am to come from that place of love. That's my mandate. That's our natural state, by the way. Love is already who we are. It's some belief or misbelief in separation that causes us to cause harm to others, or to want to get even, or to want to, fix him or her. But my mandate is to come from a place of love. And how I get to do that is through my spiritual practice. How you get to do that, how you get to be there, is by reminding yourself of the truth over and over and over again. Because here's what's going to happen, folks. In just a little while, within the next couple of months, you're going to be listening to the radio. You're going to be watching television. You're going to be talking with neighbors or friends, and they're going to tell you it's flu season. And you're going to fall for it. Unless you don't. You see, that for me is a case where I can use that passage, that I am to love those who would bring me evil. Why would you bring me flu season? It doesn't really exist. It doesn't really exist. For me to name it is then to go, oh, I gotta get vaccinated. Can't shake your hand. I need my sanitizer. It's hello. For me to just come from love. For me to know health and wholeness. For me to know that my life is the perfect and divine way that God is showing up on this planet, and the same is for you, then I see you healthy and whole. I see you vibrant. I see you successful. I see you in love. I see you in family and community. I see all of the things that you touch being successful. Because that's what we're about. That is the truth of who we are. And we have that opportunity even here in our own spiritual community right now. Even now, we have an opportunity to recognize and to come from a place of love and to come from a place of harmony and to know the spiritual truth for ourselves. Right now, we're living with a roof that is in disrepair. And as a spiritual community, we get to know that God is living in, through, and as us right now. Therefore, that which is true of God is true for us. That the abundance and the love and the harmony and the joy and the clarity that God is, we are. Therefore, this roof is really a small thing that we can totally take care of quickly and assuredly, and continue in our spiritual practice, recognizing our life as the life of God and being available and being a safe, dry place for folks to gather so that they might know this truth. You see, we can't put it off on somebody else. We can't have our thoughts or ideas about who's responsible not have safe passage through our mind. We can't live with any animosity about what's happening or what's not happening, whether we're pleased or displeased. What we get to do is we get to come together in community, and we get to take care of the space and be wonderful stewards of what we've been given. And we get to do that through our faith. We get to do that by recognizing that our life is a life of God, and that we're reminded of this truth week in, week out, every Wednesday, every Sunday, every class here. And so we get to take care of home, our spiritual community, as our spiritual community takes care of us, as we're reminded, as we're mandated that we cannot come with all of our gifts and still hold animosity and anger and resentment toward anyone else. Where else can you go and kind of be spanked gently or reminded gently of the truth of who you are and called and be held accountable for your own spiritual growth? It gets to happen here in community, where we get to go, well, how's that working out for you? How can I hold you in prayer? How can I support you? What is it that we need to know together? And so what we're going to know together right now is that our life is that life of God. That as it is true for us, it's true for our neighbors, it's true for all the folks, even right now, who don't have safe passage through our mind, and that it is true for our spiritual community. So we're going to enter about 5 minutes of silence. And in that silence, we're going to just anchor in this truth. We're also going to see our roof completely repaired and ready for all the weather that may present, and that we internally are protected and guided from the elements and insulated and kept well, because our life is a life of God. My life is the way God is expressing. All that God is, I am. Say that to yourself. All that God is, I am. All that God is, I am. And we enter the silence with that mantra. All that God is, I am.
God is, I am. All that God is, I am.
And even as we've taken just a few moments in the silence and the stillness to anchor in the truth that God is and I am, and that God is the perfect and divine way that I'm showing up on this planet, that I am that divine and perfect way that God is showing up on this planet, that God is my life, that there's nothing, no thing that separates my life from the life that is God. God is living in, through, and as me, and that this is the truth for each and every one of us. So we simply allow ourselves to bring forth into our own minds those people who we may be holding a resentment against, or maybe upset with, or not pleased with, or maybe having a grudge with, or some animosity, and we get to simply hold them up in the light and the truth of who they are and recognize that their life is the beautiful, magnificent way that God is showing up on this planet too, and that we are indeed one. That my life is their life and their life is my life. That there's nothing, no thing that can ever separate that, for there is only the one, and we have our living and our beingness in, through, and as this great power and presence. And that the moment that I have any animosity or anger or disdain towards anyone else, I am simply shorting myself of the gifts that I have to share. And so I simply allow myself to let it go, to release, to find forgiveness in my heart, and to give forth any animosity, any anger, anything that would keep me from expressing the truth of who I am. I no longer fall for the okie doke. I no longer fall for status quo or mediocrity. I simply embrace and am mindful of the truth of who I am. I am the divine and perfect way that life is showing up on this planet. The perfect and divine way that this energetic that we call God, love, light, peace, harmony, it is who and what I am. And irrespective and regardless of what shows up in front of me, it is incumbent upon me, it is my job, it is my chore, it is my joy to come from a place of love and to be the love in each and every situation, to bring it, to be it, to express it, to share it. For when I can indeed embrace the divine humanity, I will indeed be enlightened. I will indeed reach that Christ consciousness, that nirvana. Oh, I want to know that. I want to taste that. I want to know my life as God. God as me. God as you. Life as each and every one of us. And so how grateful I am for all that we experience, all that we receive, all that we are. How grateful I am that we come together as a spiritual community to say yes to the knowing and the awakening of ourselves and our planet. That we might know beyond a shadow of a doubt that our life is God. And for this, I give thanks and abundant thanks for the blessings, for Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, for each and every one of us. I remain eternally grateful. We let it be. And so it is. Amen. This is a great place we have here. I don't know if you know. There's so many places and so many people who don't have the opportunities that we have to live in a wonderful place like this and to actually be able to attend community and be in community like this in such a great and powerful way. So I know that you got your programs today, and I know that there might have been some kind of question. So I just kind of want to show you that today is a special day, because today we get 2 envelopes. One is green, and it says Roof Rescue Fund, and the other one says General Operating Fund. We usually have this one in our program. And just like I mentioned in our talk today, we are on a mission to get our roof repaired so we can continue moving forward in our growth and our expansion and our awakening of our own consciousness and the consciousness of the world. So today we have an extra opportunity to give, and that extra opportunity to give above and beyond what we usually share with our spiritual community is funds to help get our roof done. What we know is that we have 140 squares that go on the roof to repair it. Each of those squares is $600. Easy. So go within, check out, feel what you can do. Whether it's a half a square, a whole square, 2 squares, a quarter square, a part of a square. Go in with somebody. Go within, see what you're moved to do, and thank you. Thank you. The whole month of September, between Wednesdays and Sundays, we'll have these envelopes in our programs, in our bulletins. We also are going to have an information table, so if you have additional questions in the back after service today, we can just go to our information table on our roof rescue table, and we have some beloved God beings there to assist us with answering those questions. So I'm going to invite our ushers to come forth at this time. Please take out your gifts, your tithes, your offerings, your roof rescue blessings, that which you have brought to share with the spiritual community. Hold it in your hand. Hold it close to your heart. Think of all the things that you're grateful for. I always like the quote that's up there, and I could hardly ever see the black part on the top, but it kind of says something like the biggest life. What does that say? Who can read that for me out there? Yeah. Yeah. So we recognize our good and we redistribute this good, and that's exactly what we practice, redistributing our good. So we just remain thankful for our gifts, all that we get, all that we are, and all that we share. We bless those who have given to us, and we bless our gift now as we freely give this gift onto our spiritual community. And so it is. Amen. Go forth, ushers. Both envelopes go in any basket. Thank you so much for your generosity. We have, as you give, you get. That's just kind of the flow of life. We give and we get. It's the ebb and the flow. The ebb and the flow. The ebb and the flow. And tonight, we get to receive the beautiful gift that is called the Motivators. And the Motivators is Doug Allen Kinnear on guitar. And of course, we all know him because we love him and because he's one of us, just as Doug is one of us as well. Cole, now here's a new thing, Cole James Rios Miller. And they're going to give us the gift of music tonight. Gentlemen.
This song's called I Know You. 2, 3, 4. I know you, and you know me. We don't take any time to be just alive and feeling good and having friends in the neighborhood. How could I know how good my life could be if I never knew some pain? Know what it means to value everything and to know that you are free. I know you, and you know me. Let's take a walk by the edge of the sea and hear the waves and smell the air and start to feel like you don't have a care. How could I know how good my life could be if I never knew some pain? Know what it means to value everything and to know that you are free. Take it, Cole. How could I know how good my life could be if I never knew some pain? Know what it means to value everything and to know that you are free. I know you, and you know me, and we don't take any time to be and look around and tear the smile and show the world that your love is inside. How could I know how good my life could be if I never knew some pain? Know what it means to value everything and to know that you are free. I know you, and you know me, and I know you. How you doing? And you know me, and I know you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I know you.
I know you.
The motivators.
I know you.
Oh, amazing. What a gift. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Cole.
You.
Yeah, I like them. You like them too, huh? Give them some more love.
All right.
Perfect. We have an opportunity to hear from a couple of folks tonight. What we know is that we're all revealers of truth. So if there was something that you were moved by, anything you'd like to share with our spiritual community, now's the time. And I see one. So Hello, beloved.
Hi, I'm Rose.
Hi, Rose.
And it was just wonderful to get that reminder that we have the opportunity, well, we're either fully showing up or we're not. And to not, there's some really crafty ways that I know myself I can show up on this spiritual path, but then still kind of halfway do it over here and a little bit over here and kind of hide it over there. And it's can get sneaky. And I think that the more spiritually evolved we are, then the more sneaky it kind of gets. So I got to see some little places where I can flesh that out and show up more fully. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Rose. I appreciate that. Hi, sweetie. You want to say hi? Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. I love it. Hey, Bob. Thank you.
I had a fun time with that quiet time. All that God is, I am.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that for a little bit, and then Dan came to mind. And I said to myself, all that God is, Dan is.
Mm-hmm.
And that lightened me.
Yeah.
Took a load off of me.
Yeah. That's a great practice.
Blessed you, Dan.
That's a great practice. Thank you so, so much. All right, one more. Hello. So glad you're here tonight.
Thanks. I've been
Turn
having
around, face your people. Look at
Okay.
them. Look at how beautiful they are.
I've been having a difficult time lately with the fact I got bit by a dog a week and a half ago, and I've been very fearful of dogs for the past week and a half, and been angry at the woman because she had no remorse, no I'm sorry, no disciplining our dog or anything, and I have been holding on to 2 dog bites, one physical and one emotional dog bite. And so it's also the night before my birthday, and I was thinking, God, so my therapist today was telling me, don't hold on to that and let it ruin your birthday. And so I'm seeing dogs all over the place, and I'm going, oh my God. So I need to be near a dog so that I can feel that part of me that thinks that dogs are horrible.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
For being my gift tonight.
Absolutely. And after service, Daye would love to be with you. Yeah. In a loving way. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, everyone. What a great night this has been, even if I do say so myself. And I say so myself because we create our reality, right? So we get to name the thing, and we named it great. And so it is so. It is so, it is so, it is so. This year, 2014, has been really about reading our book, our textbook, The Science of Mind book. And Reverend Edward Villion, years ago, took the Science of Mind textbook and he put it into just these little bite-sized readings so that every day we can just read a little bit at a time, and it's in different places, different times. And all of my talks this year have been based on the Wednesday reading. Whatever the reading is for today, the talks have been based on that so that we can get booked up, so that we can really, truly understand what Ernest Holmes was talking about a little bit at a time. And so if you haven't picked up your Science of Mind book, our bookstore will be open this evening, or if you need the index, you can start today and just read starting today, and by this time next year, you will have read just a little bit at a time the entire Science of Mind book. You'll probably have more questions than answers, which is fine, because I know that we have classes starting up soon, and so I invite you all that if you have lots and lots of questions to avail yourself to some of the classes that we have available here at Seaside Center for Spiritual Living, that you also avail yourself to our practitioners who are here to serve you and are here to know the truth for you. So you can either see them after service for prayer. Tonight we have Candace Young Schultz, not Yupeng, what is it? Yupeng? Yeah, Yupeng. I told her to embrace her Asian side. And tonight we also have Cliff. He's been radiating the light in the back and just knowing the perfect unfoldment for our service. So our practitioners will be available after service today to pray with you and to know the truth with you. And if you need a little bit more than prayer, please, our practitioners are available for private sessions which is always beneficial. It's always great to have a practitioner, someone you can run things by, and they are your spiritual counselors, and there is a set fee schedule for that. However, nothing is too expensive to invest in yourself and invest in your spiritual growth and unfoldment, and our practitioners are our gift by being that for us here. So thank you so much, Candace. Thank you so much, Cliff, and all the other practitioners that are here tonight. Thank you for your consciousness. Want to thank our music team tonight, Sunny Daye, Jim Bianchi, Cole Miller, and Doug. Thank you so much. The motivators for your extra special music. Want to thank Tim Griffin tonight, who's been videotaping, live streaming, making sure that it gets in our archives. Thank you so much. Ed Reeves, thank you so much for the sound aspect of life, making sure that we're clear. Our ushers, Melanie and Dennis, thank you for your service. And last and definitely not least, want to thank Ginny, our coordinator, for making sure that everything runs smoothly. And of course, I want to thank you for being here tonight, because it'd have been kind of lonely without you. And this combination of folks will never, ever occur again. So this evening, once we're out in the family room, take a moment to greet each other, to love one another, and to recognize one another, and especially to love one another. Want to invite you to rise. Rise in consciousness. Rise as we do our closing song. Nicolette, come on up and guide us through our song together. Thank you so much. I'll see you back here next week. Bring a friend. And bring some of those people who didn't have safe passage. Yeah, that might be kind of cool. Yeah.
This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. This is our prayer, a song of peace. We get to be the change we want to see. With open hearts and open hands, we lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we stand. We lift our voices, in love we
Good night. I love you. See you in the family room.
I've been happy lately, thinking about good things to come. And I believe that truly something good has begun. Smiling lately, dreaming about the world as one. And I believe that truly that someday has begun. Out on the edge of darkness, there rides a peace train. Peace train, take this country, come take us home again. Peace train sounding louder, light on the peace train. Come on, peace train, yes, on the peace train. Peace train sounding louder, light on the peace train, all the way to Seattle. Ooh, yeah, yeah, come on the peace train. Jump on the peace train, ride on the peace train. you. Thank you, Cole.